Tune in now to the hottest sports podcast, 910 Sports. 910 Sports. We discuss the latest topics in sports, interview the athletes from all over the country, known and unknown, while spotlighting the youth of today and tomorrow with host Icon E, Mr. Personality Jacob the Great, Crystal, a.k.a. Miss Wildfire, KB the Amazing, and Steve-O, a.k.a. Mr. All Everything Georgia.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. We here on 910 Sports, season 3. First, I gotta thank God for this opportunity to be here once again. To be able to bring y'all the sports and the entertainment. So, what's going on, fellas?
Yo, what's going on? Y'all, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on? What's going on, man? What's going on, KB?
Can't call it, man. It's, another day, another dollar.
Okay. So what's going on with y'all tonight?
Man, I watched the Braves get their ass beat earlier today. That was disappointing. But baseball is such a long season, man. It'd be so hard. It'd be so hard to stay in tune. It's so long.
Yeah,
but
man.
That's it, man. That's
about like October, like August, September, like when they start to get down to that final, like maybe 30, 40 games, and I start really looking at the standings and who got a chance to get in. And I mean, it's always, you know what? I don't really like the Yankees, but it's always better when the Yankees is in. Always, because I like just to see if they're gonna actually make it to the end. And you know what I mean, over the last probably 10 years, they always get beat right before they get to the World Series or whatever. So
yeah,
they got a good team.
The Yankees supposed to have the best team in the baseball this year. So we'll see how that turn out.
Yes, sir. I need my Yankees to pull it in.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how that go, because I know, like with the Dodgers winning, a couple of years ago, they kind of, I know the Dodgers kind of won in a situation kind of how they looked like, and they had to look at the Lakers and like a sort of like a bubble championship type of deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do remember that.
I know that
it was like a lockout year, a short year, or something like that.
In the same scenario where they only played like 80 games or something that year, whatever they played, when they won the championship that year. So I know some people might not look at it the same as if they win like this year or whatever. So we'll see. But anyway, man, I want to talk about something before we get into this Donovan Mitchell situation. I heard something this morning, and I'm very, very. This is reason why I did not want, and it had nothing really to do with Stephen Curry, but this is the reason why I didn't want the Golden State Warriors to win the championship. Because I had heard Bobby Marks, and Bobby Marks is supposed to be a respectable analyst on ESPN. He's up there. He's kind of looked in the same regards, maybe not as on a higher level as Woj, but he's kind of in that same kind of mode as Woj, Brian Windhorst. When people go to get information, Bobby Marks is kind of in that group. And he had the nerve to say this morning that he felt like after this championship that Stephen Curry was the second greatest player of all time. And I'm like, see, this is the reason why right here I did not want him to win the championship, because they start having these foolish conversations. And I used to have these conversations about LeBron and Jordan all the time. And it always would come up with Jordan got more championships and Jordan got more MVPs and Jordan got this and Jordan got that. All these accolades. And I'm like, so if LeBron James can't be the GOAT because of all these accolades, how in the heck you gonna put same boat when he just now got his first MVP? So how we even gonna how even form our lips to say that he's better than Kobe, he's better than Magic, he's better than Bird? You know what I'm saying? He don't even have the same accolades as them when it comes to MVPs in the finals or MVPs regular season, and all these like different scoring titles and different stuff. Like the only thing that Stephen Curry has is the 3-point. You know what I'm saying?
Then we kind of lost icon for a second. KB, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I can talk about the MJ and LeBron. I guess, MJ and LeBron argument. And then we were also talking about the new generation and how they kind of look at basketball.
I think they look at it like on what's hot, who's entertaining type thing. I don't think they look at it in the sense of like skill set, things like that. Like I don't think they do, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be a hot take, man. I think a lot of people nowadays put stuff out clickbait. A lot of people put stuff out just to kind of get a hot take. But let's be real, man. Nobody thinks that Steph Curry is better than LeBron James or Jordan. Now, is he the greatest shooter of all time? You really think people think that for real? Like,
yeah, I think so. I mean,
you might have it. Don't get me wrong. There are people that think the world is flat. There are people that don't get me wrong. I ain't saying that it's not people out there like that. But do you think really like the basketball heads in the basketball world, you really have anybody who like has played the game at a high level? Do you have somebody out there that would say Steph Curry is better than LeBron? Somebody who's played the game.
No.
Turn your mic down a little bit, Steve.
Yeah.
Turn your mic down a little bit and get a little bit of feedback on it.
Yeah, I don't think a person that's like a basketball head would do that. I think the average fan, which is probably 80% the average fan, will look at it and be like, "Oh, Steph's the best. Look, he dribbles good, he scores, his team wins, he's the best player on the team."
You're right. Now I give you that, but I think if I'm a music person, I want to be recognized with music awards. Like I care about my fellow musicians and what they think about me more than I care about the fans. Yeah, I guess the fans are there. We got the fans. We play for the fans. They play for the fans. They want the fans to come out and spend the money. But when it comes to basketball players, I think they care about other basketball players and how they do it. That's why Charles Barkley gets so much grief. And that's why Shaq gets so much grief. Because their basketball players were played at a high level and they're criticizing some of these young guys. So I think their comments hold a lot more weight than the average fan. Sometimes, I be a troll something. I got my nigga about this, F anything USC. That's how I feel that day. You know what I mean? So I agree with you on that part. I think that it is.
See, the problem is the problem with that is that when you have a person like a Bobby Marks who's in the media, and then they start putting out info and they start putting it out there like that, then people who basically you could go to those type of people for their information, they start to believe it themselves. Because some people, their Bible is a Bobby Marks, their Bible is an Adrian Wojnarowski or a Brian Windhorst or whoever, or Stephen A. or whoever. That's the person they go to, and whatever. It's almost like
and I hate
how people go to Google and say Google said this, or And
Yeah, you're right. That's
I mean,
true.
he's the only person I've heard in the analytical realm to say that, but it's just the fact that he even put it out there. And I'm gonna put it to you like this for all the people that know me and know how I always advocate for LeBron. I'm not even forget LeBron for a minute. Just to put him second on the list above all these other players, because I know, like, you know, if you talk to Jacob, he'll put Kobe in the top 5, and a lot of people put Kobe in the top 5. I even heard people say Kobe was better than Jordan. So
Is he better than AI?
if you even take LeBron, huh?
Is he better than AI? I know that's
Stephen
your
Curry?
guy. That's your guy. Now, is he better than AI? Let me ask you that. That's your guy. I know AI is your guy.
I would have to say yes. Yes, I would say yes. I would say yes because of the leadership skills, the leadership he brings to a team, not just what to play on the court, but everything that he brings. I would have to say he's better than AI or whatever. But I like AI. He's my more. I like AI better. He's still one of my top 5 favorite players. But I will say Stephen Curry is overall better than AI. You know what I mean? Because he's a better. I ain't gonna say scorer. Of course he's a better shooter. I still think AI. If you watch AI, but AI is a way better scorer or whatever. Than Steph. Like AI put up points in a lot of different ways. More dynamic than Curry, but Curry is a better player than AI. What's up, Chris?
Oh, I know that hurt. I know that hurt you to say that one. Ooh wee.
No, it ain't really hurt me to say it because first of all, Curry is from North Carolina. Curry is from North
Oh,
Carolina,
I
so
forgot.
I
Oh,
don't mind giving him.
I gave
I
you
don't
out.
mind.
I
I don't
gave you
mind. I mean,
out.
not. I mean, nah. I
I
don't
gave
mind
you
saying that
out.
Curry's better than. Curry's better than AI. I mean, I don't have no problems with that, but I do have a problem with him with Bobby Marks saying he's the second greatest player of all time. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Crystal? Can you hear me?
I hear you. Hey, y'all.
What's up,
Yeah,
Crystal?
I don't know if you heard this morning what Bobby Marks said this morning, but I almost wrecked the car when I heard it.
Nah, I didn't
You know
hear.
what I'm
What did
saying?
he
But he
say though?
said
What did he exactly say? I didn't hear.
he basically said after Curry winning his 4th championship that he considers Stephen Curry the second greatest player of all time. And I'm
Yeah, I
like,
wouldn't
this
do
dude has
that.
done lost his
Nah,
his
I
mind.
wouldn't do that. He
Like I said, that's what I
better.
said. Excluding LeBron, if he, I say because people, some people hate LeBron. Take LeBron out the equation. So you're gonna tell me he better than Kobe, he better than Bird, he better than Magic, Kareem, he better than all those players. And and the thing about it was how you go from being sort of like not proving yourself in the finals enough to you finally win a championship with the finals, and you leapfrog from not even being in the top 10 to the second greatest player of all time. And you only
I wouldn't
great
put
at
him
one thing,
above
and that's
Kobe.
shooting. You're not great
I
at
wouldn't put him
defense. You're not great at you can't guard multiple positions. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things you can't do. Like Stephen Curry is still limited in certain things he can't do. So like all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You the second greatest. It's not like he down there posting people up. You know what I'm saying? He got the jump shot and he got the floater. That's all he got on the offensive end. He ain't got that's
Yeah.
basically what he brings. He's an expert at those things. You know what I'm
Crystal,
saying?
would
But you're
you
the second greatest player of all time.
Crystal, would you say he better than Kobe?
No.
Yeah, I ain't me either. I don't count Kobe.
No. And I don't even put Kobe in the top 5, and I wouldn't say he better than Kobe. So of course I ain't gonna say he top 2. He the number second best player of all time. You know what I'm saying? And
Kobe.
I don't even put Kobe. I don't put Kobe in the top 5. You know what I mean? You know, I know a lot of people do, but I don't. You know, I never have. But most people put Kobe in the top 5 as he died. From what I was hearing, I never really heard people put Kobe in the top 5 before he passed away. You know what I mean? Like me and Jacob used to talk all the time. They used to have argument. They used to, but right before Kobe died, this was literally maybe a couple of months before he passed away. People was talking about there was players basically coming on to Undisputed, coming on the First Take, asking why they don't talk about Kobe more than what they do. You know what I'm saying? It was actually kind of like advocating for the guy. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever other players were. So I'm like, and then all of a sudden when he passed away, then all of a sudden you hear people starting to throw around that top 5 and greatest of all time thing on Kobe. And I'm like, y'all know y'all dead wrong for that because y'all wasn't doing it when that man was alive. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's why I said that's why I didn't want him to win the championship. That's only why I didn't want Steve. That was my only reason why I didn't want him to win the championship because I knew people was going to start doing that stupidness. Because I'm like, it's bad enough to have to have these LeBron Jordan conversations. Now we have to put Stephen Curry in it too. You know what I'm saying? We don't really have that legitimate conversation. So let's just say, for argument's sake, if he wins, let's say he wins 3 more championships. Are you gonna put him? Are you gonna then say he's the greatest player of all time? Let's just say he wins 3 more. Let's say he gets to 7. Would he be considered? Would he be the GOAT if he wins 3 more championships?
I think it depends on how he wins.
Well, okay, let's say he wins 3 more, and he wins 3 more MVPs. You know what I'm saying? And he plays basically the same way he plays right now. No different. Just, he still put up the threes and the floaters and whatever else. Would he be considered better than Michael Jordan? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, when they look at Michael Jordan, they don't look at it just from one thing, not just from the scoring. They look from the defense. They look at from his killer instinct. They look from a lot of different reasons why they say Jordan is, the way he could score the ball, just a lot of different things. So if he wins 3 more championships with 3 more, because it almost would be in the same kind of realm of like a Brady, and he don't got to be 3 in a row. Let's just say he plays, because he's a shooter, so he could play another. How old is he? Like 33, I think now, 32, 33. So he could play another 6, 7. He could play another 7 years. So let's just say he wins 3 more titles in 7 years. You know what I'm saying? He might be like 40 by the time he finally bows out. Would he be the GOAT in if he won 3 more championships in 7 years? You know what I'm saying? Or would he just be top 5?
He might be in the he might be in the conversation though.
So, but I wouldn't dare put him in the conversation now. I think because then if you put him in the conversation now, then you can never have a LeBron Jordan debate and say that LeBron is not better than Jordan based on everything that you argue about it now, because everything that people argue about it now is about championships, about individual awards, and Stephen Curry doesn't have any of those individual awards other than MVPs that LeBron and Jordan has. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we really talking about then? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I guess next I want to talk about this Donovan Mitchell situation. Just kind of came out the blue, which I'm not really totally surprised that.
What came out the blue?
About him being the Donovan Mitchell. Basically, now he's on the trading blocks.
That ain't out the blue.
I mean, it wasn't. Well, at first Utah was denying it the whole time. Was saying they wasn't going to trade him. And then all of a sudden, when they finally decided to trade Rudy Gobert, they finally traded Rudy Gobert, and then they traded Royce O'Neal. Now, all of a sudden, now it's like, you know what I mean? He's basically on the market to possibly be traded. And I know that the Knicks has put together a package for him now, which may include RJ Barrett, the Knicks. I know the Knicks and the Heat are interested. The Knicks always try to get in the mix. But
I'm about to say, man, the Knicks always, right?
But he's from New York, and his dad is a manager, or he's on the staff, on the Met staff. So he's a coach manager or assistant manager, whatever he does. I'm not sure exactly what his position is with the Mets, but he's on the Met staff. So Donovan Mitchell basically may actually fit in to be able to go to the New York Knicks. And of course, they've been yearning for a superstar, and he's the closest thing they're gonna get.
I thought they had Julius Randle.
You know what I mean?
Who?
Come on now. Stop. You always
they gave that man all that money. They maxed that man out too.
They ain't really give him that much. How much? If you look at the money he got, it really wasn't. It wasn't a number one player type money. What was like $20 million a year type money? Like that ain't no max play. That ain't no number one. You know what I'm saying? Star money. They knew that. That's why they only gave that man like $20 million a year. You know what I mean? Because they knew he wasn't no number one. You know what I mean? They really got Julius Randle. That'd just be like a dude. Like if you remember high school, well, my high school really wasn't like that. But you know how you watch movies or TV shows and always be like, who you gonna take to the school dance or the school whatever, prom or whatever the case may be. And if your first choice fall apart, you go to your second choice or your third or whatever. That's basically what it was. Like the Knicks couldn't get what they really wanted during that time. That's why I said that's like you gotta watch it on TV. That don't really happen in the hood like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like that kind of deal where you like, oh well, the old girl didn't want to go with me, so I'm gonna go to the next girl, and she tell me no. So I'm gonna go to the next girl. I'm gonna finally get me a date for the prom or for the school dance or whatever. And then you know what I'm saying, and that's kind of what Julius Randle was, because I forgot when he went. It was the season of like one of those big, like off season, like one of those big free agency years. I can't remember exactly who was on the market. I don't know if LeBron was on the market that year and some other players, but I know it was one of those years when it was kind of like like a bunch of free agents was on the market, and it was kind of like, oh well, we got to settle for Julius Randle type deal. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. So, but yeah, and then the fact that he was crying about the fans like booing him and all of that after he had that good playoff run, and then he comes back the next year and he kind of like sucks, and then he's all upset in his feelings. I like, yeah, he ain't no better.
He went no better. He no better.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, now what y'all think? What y'all think is gonna happen? Y'all think he gonna end up in the Knicks, in Miami, somewhere else? Where y'all think he gonna end up?
I can see him in Miami.
You talking KD?
Better team though.
No, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, ooh, I don't know.
I like Miami.
But I don't think I don't think it makes them a better team. They're gonna have to give up pieces. But yeah, I don't see him putting them over the hump. Maybe him. I don't believe in Bam like that. That's just me.
Well, that's who the.
After what I seen in the playoffs, he just a defensive player.
He's another guy.
Yeah. I don't know why such a pedestal. I really don't. I don't see it. You know what I mean? I would love to see him in Miami with Jimmy Butler and then playing off each other. That's what I would love to see. But and it's kind of funny because I wasn't even gonna throw it out there, but they even said it could even be a possibility that he could end up with the Lakers.
I would love it.
Huh?
I would love it if he went to the Lakers.
Yeah, I forgot who this morning they were saying that this morning they was talking about that because of the fact that how did they say it's a way he could go to the Lakers because of I forgot what the reason was. It was something about salaries, and I guess because of Utah can take back certain. They could take back like a Russell Westbrook because they trying to clear the books anyway for next year, so they could swallow that for a year, and then get some draft picks and some other players because they basically trying to start over anyway. So it's like he could end up in the Lakers just because of the draft pick situation and whatever. Because I think the Lakers may be more willing to give up that 27th and that 29th, 2027 and 2029 first round pick for Donovan Mitchell faster than they will for Kyrie Irving, because you got to think Donovan Mitchell is 25 years old.
Give away picks for 6 years down the line, God, dog.
but you, yeah. You got to think Utah already got 5 first round picks off the Rudy Gobert. So they don't really need those picks right now. You know what I'm saying? They could just stop them, and then you got to remember who their general manager is. Their general manager is Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge is like that chicken that like to keep his eggs close to him until they hatch. Like he like that old mother chicken hen or whatever. Like I don't know what's up with Danny Ainge, boy. He like the hoard. I think he be at the house with a lot of like stuff in his house because he like the hoard stuff. He like the hoard. So what Danny Ainge be doing?
He called Danny Ainge a hoarder, bro. I know you ain't said that.
He got to be because he got to be. All he do is when he was in Boston, what'd he do? He didn't do absolutely nothing with none of them picks. Nothing. You know what I mean? So what y'all think, y'all? What you think, Crystal?
About Danny Ainge?
Or just Donovan Mitchell, where he may end up? Because like I said, like at the end of the day, it's like, you know, it's you know, because the thing about it was, like, I think the last report I seen, they even got like a 4 or 5 team deal that they could put together. What would be like the Lakers, not the Lakers. It would be like the Nets, the Pacers, the Utah Jazz, and the Phoenix Suns. So now this kind of situations open up a door where DeAndre Ayton will end up in Indiana. I think they were saying like, of course, KD would end up in Phoenix. Donovan Mitchell would end up, I think, in New York, and I forgot who would end up in Utah. But they would, I guess, it was like a 4 or 5 team deal. And even, matter of fact, I did see one with the Lakers too. I seen a different one with the Lakers, where they would end up with Kyrie Irving and Turner, whatever, from Indiana, and then DeAndre, and then KD would end up in Phoenix, and then DeAndre Ayton would end up in Indiana, and then I think I'm not sure if it was before Ben Simmons or who it was would go back to Utah, but I seen a bunch of different scenarios or different trades or whatever. So, but basically what I'm saying is it opens up a door with Donovan Mitchell being in the loop. It opens up the door for all these for basically for them to kind of maybe eventually get a KD deal done, because they can kind of add 4 or 5 different teams to try to make it all work for everybody. You know what I mean? Now that you have more superstars like in the mix of it.
So. Well, I think Donovan may end up in Miami. I think Aiden is gonna go to Indiana, which means they're gonna do a sign and trade. That means Miles Turner probably go to Phoenix. I don't know if Durant is going anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't really know if he's going anywhere. I think sometimes I feel like they trying to like ask for this ridiculous haul so that they can tell him, well, we tried to trade you, but nobody, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lakers are all in on Kyrie too. So I think it's one of those things where if they could finesse something to get Kyrie, then they would. I don't think they'll jump out and just forget him and go get Spider.
Well, Kyrie is saying, they're saying that a source close to Kyrie is saying he actually wants to stay with the Nets. Even if Durant leaves, he still wants to stay with the Nets. And that he never asked for a trade, which I guess technically he didn't. But that he want to stay there.
So I did see something like that where it was like that he's okay with doing his 1 year in Brooklyn and then being a free agent and moving where he want to move.
Well, the problem with that is though, and I've heard multiple sources talk about this, including Shannon Sharp, is that it's like he says basically one of those things that that the Nets is kind of like over him. It had not, they said it had really nothing to do, or had little to do with the vaccine. It was more to do with his overall attitude, his personality, of how he treated the staff and people in the building. And like
Okay.
Boston had that same issue with him. So they like, even if he wanted to come back, they said that they kind of like made it in their mindset that even whatever happens to KD, whether he stays or goes, that they still want Kyrie Irving out the building. Just because of the fact of the last 3 years, they said the last 3 years has been very difficult just on just the staff alone, and how he would just, like what he said about Steve Nash, we don't need a coach, and they said that how he would always like treat the staff like they was beneath him and things of that nature. So I mean, I don't know how true it is, but I keep hearing that come up, that basically they over Kyrie at this point. They just really trying to see. I think they really was trying to see what they could do with KD. But I think at the end of the day, if they can't do anything with KD, they may just keep him, but still move Kyrie or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if they move Ben Simmons, even if it's for like, what I'm saying, a bag of chips and soda. I think they might try to move Ben Simmons too. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't see. I don't see Durant wanting to play with Ben Simmons, because somebody who likes to play basketball like Durant, you playing with somebody who don't know if they want to play basketball on a given day. I don't see them keeping him around.
I don't think that's fair though. I don't think that's a fair assessment of Ben Simmons, because I think it's when he doesn't want to play. I think it's more to it than just, hey, I don't feel like playing ball today. Like, it's more to it than that. And I don't think you trade. What now?
So he was just apologizing to he attacking him again.
Right. And then I don't think you trade for him. I don't think you trade for him and don't see what he does with you. Like, why would you get him if you're not gonna let him play? Like that doesn't make a lot of sense. You want to at least, because you didn't traded those pieces that are doing well in other places. The Jared Allen, or I think that's his name, to play for the Cavs. You didn't trade him away to get Paul and Karis LeVert, but I mean, of course, Karis LeVert was hurt, whatever. You didn't traded him away, traded those guys away to get Harden, and then that didn't work. So you're not going to see what Simmons does for you. Like, you got to at least see what he does for you before you trade him.
And see, that's really the problem with this whole thing right there, that not a lot of people do not talk about. And matter of fact, it's funny you say that, Crystal, because I think it was Nick Wright or somebody talking about this the other day. And they were saying that basically, if you think about it, now, matter of fact, it was Shannon. If you think about this, when the Nets first got KD and Kyrie Irving, it was almost like before. You remember the year before that, the Nets like made it to the playoffs, and it was kind of like they didn't have no superstars. They didn't have nobody really like they had. It was like Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and then a bunch of other role players that they had.
It was Russell.
D'Angelo Russell.
Mm-hmm.
So they had so basically it was like one of those things that I get it. They had to get they had to get D'Angelo Russell off the books to be able to carry Kyrie Irving and KD money. But my thing was, y'all let all those other players go when you could have just, like, I know Karis LeVert came off of injury, but they could have brought him back in the fold. He could have been a great sixth man. You had Jared Allen in there in the post that was your shot blocker, but then you gave up all these other pieces and brought in all these older guys and these other guys, instead of just letting the guys who already had chemistry, because you already had players that are around you that had chemistry. They just had to fit y'all into the mold, and then y'all could have been off and running. So I think that's what the Nets messed up was. They pretty much try to do like I think sometimes people on the low, sometimes I think some players try to follow a mold or like a LeBron James type mold, where you come in and revamp the whole team and think you could just, do what they did. Because if you almost look at it, it was kind of almost the same blueprint. KD, Kyrie came in and they started getting all these old dudes to go around with a couple of young pieces. But they never really meshed because then Blake Griffin was in and out of the lineup, and then LaMarcus Aldridge just got sick and he came back and he was in and out, and then you know what I'm saying, and then you brought DeAndre Jordan, which he never really played, and which I don't know how he keep getting a job. He must got doggone something on the league or something, but he must have seen
everybody say he's the big man, right?
the big man to do what? DeAndre does nothing. He don't even do nothing no more. He don't even give you block. He don't give you rebound. What does DeAndre Jordan do on the court? But just run up down the court looking like a gazelle.
Well, he barely get in now.
That's what I'm saying. And then he just got signed by who he just got signed by? Was it Denver or Portland? He just signed with somebody. Oh, yeah, wow. DeAndre Jordan just signed with somebody yesterday.
He's stealing money. He's stealing money. He's stealing money at this point.
How you keep getting jobs? You won't even get in the court. He about as bad as Adonis Haslam, just stealing money at this point. I guess. I mean, he said we need security. So they just got Adonis Haslam on the bench for security or something. I don't know why he's still in the league. He ain't played in about 4 years. He ain't played since Dwayne Wade left. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why is he still out there? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, oh yeah, they're trying to call. They went and begged him to come back for another year. For what? Like you man, just make him a coach. Please make Don Allen the coach, a mascot or something. I don't know. Just do something. I don't know. I mean, make him part of security. Put him at the popcorn stand. I don't know. Just do something else with Don Allen. He's just stealing money at this point. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man. So let me ask y'all about this. I don't know how much y'all been following this story about this whole thing with the golf players. The golf players, I guess the top 4 golf players right now: Dustin Johnson, Bruce Koepka, a couple other ones. I can't remember their names, but I know it's the top 4 golf players in the world got suspended because they got with this live tournament or live whatever league or whatever overseas, and basically they got suspended for doing deals with them. But they got basically, like, I want to say, was it like a $200 million deals or something like that? That go play with that, play in that tournament or play in that league or whatever. And you know, a lot. And then Tiger Woods came on this morning saying that he felt like that, you know, they should want to play with the best competition in the world and not basically go chase the money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, somebody was basically saying that if Tiger Woods in that same position early on in his career, would he done the same thing, more chasing money versus just worry about like playing with the best players in the world? And you know, like Jay Williams said, that's life-changing money. That's generational money. So is it more important for you to play against the best players in the world, or is it more important for you to secure your family, you know, long term, especially that kind of money, like $200 million is a lot of money to turn down, especially, you know, in a situation where golf basically exploits players, makes money off of them or whatever. And a lot of those players' money not guaranteed, because if you don't, like, even in that league, if you come in last place, they say you still get a check for like $120,000. But in the PGA Tour, if you come in last place, you don't get paid, other than probably with your endorsements. So, you know what I mean? So have y'all been following that story?
No, not deeply, but I would take the money. I think the PGA Tour gonna have to like think about it.
Yeah.
You know, like think about doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
but, I mean, you got even still I mean, you still get to watch Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson, but you want like the PGA still wants, you know, that you want to play against the best. You want to show the best golfers.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I would have took the money though.
I took the money too.
Oh yeah.
Everybody ain't Tiger Woods and is a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And I feel like if he would have been early in his career like that, if he'd have been in the same position where he's not necessarily as dominant. Let's just say he like one of those other players where he wins, but none of those players have ever been as dominant as Tiger Woods has been. I think if he was in that same boat, he might have took that money too. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, I think the whole thing is hypocritical because that we have players and we have companies all the time doing business with overseas companies that we don't necessarily believe in their practices and stuff. Like, of course, like everybody knows the story of Michael Jordan and with China over the Nike situation and how Nike was treating their employees. And he apparently went over there to check out the factory to make sure to see what the business practices was. But I said, told people all the time, I said, I'm gonna tell you why that was some bullshit. I said, because I used to work in like the restaurant business, and then what happens is when the CEO of the company comes, the owner of the company comes around, what happens is everybody knows ahead of time when that CEO is going to come.
Yes,
So everybody's
sir.
going to be on their best behavior anyway.
Yes,
So
sir.
people didn't know Michael Jordan was coming into town to be able to see the business practices whenever the media knew before he even got there that he was going over there. So, and this been the time of going with no social media. So, you know what I'm saying? You don't think that the people over there didn't already know Michael Jordan was coming? And so when they got there, they probably cleaned up certain things and made certain things look a certain way to appease him or whatever. So, I mean, that's just like people do. You don't think most billionaires, the people that's billionaires, do business in an unethical way all the time. So for them to try to get some of these golf players like they dead wrong for doing business with overseas like that with our so-called enemy or people that we don't believe in what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with them because they're not politicians. They're golf players. You know what I'm saying? They're not here to necessarily. If they want to change the world or be a part of changing the world, that's fine. But that's not their obligation to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Their obligation to play their sport. And
Do you
whatever.
think they should be banned from the majors for the rest of their life? I know they got that
No,
ban.
no. Because they even talking about what's going to end up happening is what's that dude Russo that be on with Stephen A. sometime. He said what he felt like what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up like merging, like how they did with the ABA, NBA, NFL, AFL back in the day. They're going to end up having to come to a common ground, which is going to end up being a merger at the end of the day. Because you got to think if you take your four best golf players out of the equation, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to, especially for certain demographics, you're gonna have to lean more on Tiger Woods, which Tiger Woods is not capable of carrying that but so long because the nostalgia of him coming back to play on a gimpy leg, eventually people are not gonna care anymore.
Yeah.
Like right now, everybody's like, oh man, he played on the gimpy leg. Let's see if he can still
Mm,
win. But it's
no,
people ain't gonna care no more.
they've already stopped caring.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who else you gonna have? You gotta find a way to get them guys back onto the fold for the people that really are true golf fans and who want to see the best players in the world. You know what I mean? Like I stopped watching after Tiger. After Tiger kind of fell to the wayside, I stopped watching anyway. So if another black player come along, then I'll start watching again. But
His
long as they
son
don't,
might be that deal. His son look like he gonna be that deal. So I don't know.
if he is, I'll watch him. You know what I mean? I love to see it. I love to see it. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for somebody to come and try to take the throne. A black athlete try to take the throne from Serena Williams. You know what I'm
Well, they
saying?
got they a black one. They want Coco Golf to be.
Oh yeah, Coco.
And the crazy part about it is I think it's Coco Golf. That's the one from Atlanta, right?
Yeah,
I
she
don't know
young.
if
She
it's
like
related.
18 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to stay, believe it or not, Steve. She used to stay in the same neighborhood as my sister. The one
Oh
you
yeah.
dropped. Yeah, stay in the same exact. They knew her when she was a kid, and her parents end up moving her down to Florida. The same the same academy or whatever that is that Serena and Venus went to. So they moved her. She was in the same neighborhood when she was a kid, and then when they started seeing that she could play tennis for real, they upped and moved and went to that same academy that Serena and Venus went to.
Oh, that what's up?
Yeah. So
Look,
yeah,
they
yeah.
they
Huh?
wanted Naomi, but she don't play that. She don't play them games like they wanted to.
What you mean? She don't, oh, you mean like the politics of it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but yeah. So let me ask y'all about this then. So, especially the two college heads over here. What do y'all think about? I know y'all probably already talked about it. Y'all gonna talk about it this Saturday. This realignment situation is then went out of control. It's crazy now. You got basically the SEC and the what's it? The SEC and the
The Big Ten.
Big
Big
Ten
Ten.
basically just trying to scoop everybody. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
the SEC they decided not to add no more people. Uh, I think for them financially, it doesn't make sense unless they can get certain teams, and those teams being Duke, North Carolina, and Clemson. Like if they can't get them three,
I
then it
think they
don't make
want
sense.
Florida State too. I think they want another Florida school in the
I
market.
I don't I,
Either
I don't
Florida
think they
State or
do.
Miami. I
Um,
think one of those two because you have Florida there and you
Miami,
have that tradition, quote unquote. I think Miami would be the best add. You add Miami, Clemson, UNC, and Duke. I think that would be perfect for the SEC basketball wise. Basketball is what the matchups they really looking at too. You can have Duke versus University of Kentucky, and then Auburn's been good lately. So you can have Auburn versus Duke or UNC versus Kentucky on an annual basis, a home and home. That's the money they're looking for.
well, Miami doesn't qualify financially or
Mm.
like the bylaws. So they don't qualify. So that's why Miami's a definitely a no. With Florida State, I know financially they don't and I think it's a more of a broadcasting thing. They don't bring any they don't bring enough broadcast money right now to add them. Like they're trying to get like the big boys. And like you say, Duke and North Carolina is strictly for basketball. And Clemson, of course, is for football. But Florida State doesn't. They don't demand that viewership yet.
And the only problem with Carolina in football is that and I can say this because I'm not really a Carolina football fan. I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. But every time Carolina get good in football, it's always because they done cheated. So I'm like, well, damn, if they can ever get it right in football where they can actually get good without cheating, then
They barely got it right in basketball. Yeah, you talking about?
yeah, whatever. Don't even go there now. We
No,
talk
but they're
dog
not.
basketball.
They're not worried about them on the football tip. Theirs is strictly it's strictly basketball.
Yeah, because
They're
SEC basketball is kind of like weak, so it's like they need a Carolina and Duke in basketball.
yeah. I
You know
mean,
what I
if
mean?
you get Carolina Duke, like that's all you need for basketball. Carolina Duke, Kentucky, maybe Florida State. Like I think
Louisville, you get Louisville in there too.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But Louisville, they're not. They
You're
nah,
gonna have
they
to take one of the bottom feeders. You're gonna have to take a Louisville or Florida
nah,
State to
they
balance it
don't
out, man.
because you
Um,
got schools, you got divisions like the Pac-12 that's really not trying to end. They're trying to keep their teams. So they already lost USC and UCLA. But if
yeah.
they can keep Stanford and they can add a Florida State, they would do that. I think Miami may do a Big Ten move. From what I was seeing, like they potentially could be Big Ten.
That wouldn't
Um,
make any sense.
it
I mean,
doesn't.
they was
Yeah,
in the Big East. They used
It
to be
don't
in the
make any
Big East
sense
when there was the Big
geographical.
East.
It don't make sense geographical wise.
no, it doesn't. Like that the geographic outlines for the teams, you can just throw that out the way. Like
Yeah, they don't even care about that.
that ain't a thing no more. It's just more about what they bring financially and what they bring competitive wise. So Miami going to the Big Ten to go against the Penn State, USC, Ohio State, Michigan State, like that's that would be solid for them, especially if the
But you said it wouldn't make any sense. But they were saying that from Notre Dame standpoint, it wouldn't make any sense for them to go to SEC because of geographic. So it would make more sense for them to go to the Big Ten because they right there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
them boys they not they the thing with Florida State, not Florida State, but Notre Dame is they don't. I don't think they want to get involved with other people kind of telling them what to do because they're independent, and that's their biggest benefit is they control themselves. But when you got to follow those bylaws of a different conference, that's where they kind of fall. So, but the Big Ten's not going to add anybody else unless Notre Dame comes. So that's the hiccup. Like if Notre Dame comes over, then they'll take Oregon, Utah, what was it, Oregon, Utah, and another school. And if they do that, then the Pac-12 is done. If they get Oregon and
They might
Utah,
well, yeah, they might well just have two conferences at that point, or that even matter.
Basically, it'll
that's
look
what
like where it's going.
that's what it's coming to.
Because ain't nobody gonna care about them over in the West Coast at all. If they gonna barely get cared about now if they lose UC, if they losing UCLA and USC. That's their biggest draw on both sides in basketball and football. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I mean, think about what you got left in the Pac-10. If you left it just a Pac-10, what you got left? You got Oregon football right now.
Pac-12,
The Pac-12, you
Oregon,
got Oregon, Utah,
Oregon
Stanford,
State, Stanford.
Oregon State. So you have enough, and then if you add, and then you
Enough
add
for
like
what?
ACC team or two, and you add you know what I'm saying, the Florida the Florida State, they'll be respectable. Um, they're not going to be what the SEC is or the Big Ten is, but it'll still be respectable.
I mean, but okay, let's just say for argument's sake, I get all the money situation and all that kind of stuff. But from a competitive kind of
Ain't
thing,
no competitive advantage, no.
I'm saying if you go from all the way from Florida to the West Coast on a Saturday morning, that's a lot on the kid to have to do
Yeah.
Well,
on a regular
them kids,
basis.
they travel like 2 or 3 days ahead.
I
But I
get
see
it,
what
but
you're
that's
saying
still a
though.
lot though. That's still a lot. Like to go
Like
that
Nick
far,
Saban even said that. That's what Nick
that's a
Saban
lot.
said. Nick Saban said that recently. Like the competitive balance, we're getting away from that. It's going to be the battle of the big guns. That's it. It's going to you
But I'm
going
just
away
saying
from the
from
competitive
that
balance.
whole thing of if you fly a lot like that, I'm telling you, when you fly, I fly a lot, and when you fly a lot like that, it take a toll on you to go from, especially when you're going from one coast to another coast on a 3 hour difference. You may not feel it initially, but that takes a toll on you. And for a team like a Florida State, who at least 5 or 6 times out of the year, they're gonna have to fly because all them teams is on the West Coast. Every last one of them is at least 3 hours away. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's a lot. You know what I mean?
I
To
mean,
me or whatever.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It doesn't make sense logistically when you're gonna have USC going into imagine USC going into play like you said, USC going into Ohio State, and they got to play a day game in the snow, and them boys just left Southern Cal in the sunshine 3 days ago. So yeah, it's going to be a difference in college football now.
but not just that. Like you got to also look. The Big Ten already is spread out. You talking about University of Maryland, Penn State, like they already on the East
That's
Coast,
all in the same area, bro. You said Maryland and Pennsylvania.
right? But you compare that to for USC to go over from California down to Maryland. Like hell, you can go to Florida if you want to do that.
I mean, and my thing too is I mean I I don't know. It's just kind of I don't know. It's kind of that just kind. And my thing is the people in the West Coast really gonna care about Florida State. Like people see what people don't realize too in life too. A lot when people live in different coasts, most people don't pay attention what's going on another coast. That's why when you ever meet somebody from a different coast and they start talking and you be like, what you saying? Because they lingo different, the way they look at life is different. a lot of things is different. So when you start playing, if you take all these West Coast teams playing against a Florida State and a Miami, they don't care about them teams on that end. They don't be watching. That's why I never understood bowl games when they'll put like a Utah versus a what I'm saying, South Carolina in a bowl game. Like nobody, no, why would you do
Well,
that? You want a
they do
bowl
that
game?
for
Pick
cross
regional.
conference because you don't ever see those games. So that's why they do like a Pac-12 versus ACC or Big
Yeah.
Ten. That's the
But
only reason
I'm
they do
cool with
that.
them doing it for a bowl game. But like you said, I prefer my teams to be in the South. If the Southeastern Conference, give me the teams in the Southeast. The ACC, give me the teams along the Atlantic coast. That's just me. I
Yeah,
like
Because
that.
that's it.
because
I'm
y'all
kind of
got to
old
think
school with
too.
that.
Because I'm of course I'm older than y'all, and then Jacob would be here to back me up on this one, and even Crystal could probably even maybe attest to
Oh, you
this.
threw Crystal up there with y'all. Damn.
Well, Crystal is, I mean, she is kind of in our age range, but I'm just saying, Crystal maybe can attest to this when it comes to this. Back in like the 80s and 90s, especially in the ACC, if you look at ACC basketball or whatever, like North Carolina State, Wake Forest, Duke, Carolina, that was a very big rivalry, and it was like a big thing for those teams to play each other. And the reason why it really fell off is more because Carolina, like State and Wake Forest, couldn't keep up as far as like athletes and whatever. You know what I'm saying on the court. It's on the basketball side. Like they couldn't keep up with Carolina Duke as far as getting the recruits. But it was at one time, especially probably I would say probably mid '90s or where around that time, probably early to mid '90s, where State and Wake Forest was right there with Carolina and Duke a lot of times on the competitive side. You know what I'm saying? You agree with me with Crystal, if you still there?
Are you talking about basketball?
Yeah, like basketball, like in the
Yeah.
like '90s, the early to mid '90s, when it came to from like the Carolina State, Wake Forest, North Carolina, and Duke, it was a time where those teams was competitive with
Don't
Carolina.
leave Georgia Tech out of that. Georgia Tech was in there
Well, I'm
too.
just saying from the Carolina side of things, from
Oh, I
that
got you. I
from
got you.
that no from just being in the Carolinas, those teams were very competitive. You know what I'm saying? But Carolina, but State and Wake Forest for whatever reason couldn't keep up, haven't been able to keep up. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm saying?
mean, I remember when the Big East was the thing. Like it just it changes. Like
And that was around the
right, like it's gonna change. Like this will
because you got to
change, and then
remember
it'll
you
be
had
something else. Another division 20 years from now. Like what I'm saying, the SEC might be what the ACC is now, and what I'm saying, like who knows? But I think we're gonna have to get out of
I just think
the
because my thing is because the SEC got too many. I just think from the football side, it's not like every see people got this misguided on the SEC is like every team in the SEC on football is good. It'd be like four good teams and everybody else be average. So now you're gonna throw four other teams in it and they even gonna be more average. So it's like what are we doing? We add more teams to a conference that got three teams that dominate every year. And
But they
that
play. But we play against each other. So when the powerful play against the powerful, it doesn't look as bad. But when
right.
you play Arkansas goes to the West Coast, and you talk about those West Coast matchups and those cross conferences, Arkansas be giving other teams the business. Only team that been losing like that lately is Florida. They have been bad representation.
Chill
You
out.
should
It
send
was one
Florida
year.
ass to the
so
West
you
Coast.
act like people
Calm
be
down.
competitive with
Calm
Georgia and
down.
Alabama. Teams
He
gonna be
he
competitive
just he just
in
tried
there.
to have to slide that in.
Stop
But
playing.
but no, like realistically, the SEC is the powerhouse for football. Like when you think football, you think SEC. The same way when you think basketball, you think ACC. Um,
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Like it's just is what it is. And the Big Ten is they're financially big enough to control stuff, and they've been successful. Like you
Oh
say, you
yeah.
got the Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma, Michigan, and Michigan State. That's the if it ain't them or the SEC, it's pretty much ain't nobody. And then you can throw in a Clemson. So that's it. That's who runs college football. So that's why those everybody is kind of moving off of those two because at the end of the day, it's about advertising about the dollars and who watches who. And when the SEC is on TV, people watch it.
Mm,
So it's going to wind up coming to
Except
I
for
think it's going to come to a major two instead of the Power Five. It might just be like a major two thing, and then they'll do a field of 8 to 16, like team playoffs where you can may
yep.
have in those other guys, the Pac 10 and the Pac 12 and all that other shit
because
to
that's
get.
the thing, though. I think that's what it's leading to too. I think it's also leading to for the fact for them to be able to have like a 8 or 12 team playoff tournament or whatever. Because you're gonna have to now, because then all the other teams in around the country gonna complain if you just have those two conferences dominate and you just try to
Yep.
have to pick those two conferences to make it to the Final Four. The other team gonna be like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? We if y'all gonna make us irrelevant, then what are we doing? So basically, I think it's a kind of like a setup for them to have an excuse where they will have to have an 8 to 12 team playoff tournament to make more money. You know what I'm saying?
Of
Because
course,
they keep adding bowl games that don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? The Taco Bell Bowl and the Burger King
That's
Bowl.
what Florida be in every year. You better get them a
boy,
chance to go to somebody
that was
bowl.
1 year. You be capping for the people, but go
What
ahead.
you mean? They got
Florida,
about 50
Florida need
bowl
that
games. They
bowl.
got bowl games to start from
No, no, I'm
December
I'm not
19th.
talking to you, Icon. I'm talking to Steve.
Florida need that bowl,
Oh,
Icon.
yeah.
They ain't going to nothing but the Church of Chicken Bowl. That's all they need.
Ooh. Ooh.
Florida.
He just
If they
trolling.
didn't have the Church's Chicken Bowl, Florida wouldn't have a bowl to play in. So
Lord have mercy.
leave
That
that
was it.
alone.
We had one bad year, boy. You were saying
One, y'all ain't won since. Let's not. We ain't gonna do this. We ain't gonna do this. We ain't gonna do this.
a bad year don't mean you ain't win a national championship.
You ain't played in
But
a
see,
New Year's Six.
Yes, we have. We played in
Like
two.
Icon said, you played in one New Year's Six
We
bowl.
played in two. What you talking about?
Oh, excuse me. I'm
but
sorry.
see,
2 in 20 years.
but see, y'all gotta realize something too. What has happened since they've started adding all these bowl games? What's been the biggest problem since they added all these bowl games?
The players not playing.
Exactly.
But don't
So my
nobody want to
thing
play in
is,
the Church's Chicken Bowl. But if you in the Final Four, your team you playing.
but
If you in the Final
that's
Four.
my point. That's my point. Now, but that's my point though, Steve. Not only are you got these irrelevant bowl games, now you don't even have your top players playing in the bowl game.
True,
So
but
now it's
it's
on.
good for the diehard football fans who want to see the
That's all. Is
next class. You still got
Yeah, I mean, if you're a
now
team, if you're a fan
they're
of the
even
team, you're
letting
gonna watch.
all
they're
it
letting the
is
new
a
commits practice and play now. You can commit on signing day and probably play. That's eventually going to be able to happen. So you're going to have what they're going to come up with creative ways to put the stars back, because guess what? Those people leaving are just as excited about the people leaving. They're just as excited about the brand new recruits coming in too. So if you can put a new recruit on the field who committed and let them play after practicing for 5 weeks, which so you can say that, Icon, but college football, they're gonna always be, because you got new players, you got new recruits, people get excited about the next year.
that's
So
all it is. It's all the bowl games are is money. It's just advertising. So instead of spending, taking money for 6 important games, let's make 30 important. Well, what is it? 17, 20 bowl games, and they make it about that, and then they can focus on, those teams and those people watching, and then that's it. Like
Now
it's just
I ain't gonna lie.
advertising.
I ain't gonna lie. If it was my millions of dollars, then I'm paying a player. I'm about to be one of them hard asses, because I'm gonna be one of the ones to be like, listen, I'm paying you all this millions of dollars. I need to see you in that. I don't care if you is in the Taco Bell Bowl. I need to see you in that bowl game.
Right.
You
It's
know what
just
I'm
another
saying?
way to get.
exactly. See,
It's just another
now
way
that
to
you
get
got
one more game
NIL
in.
involved, you might not have kids to be able to sit out, because now you got NIL involved, Icon. So get what? Like you said, if I'm a booster and I'm putting your mom in that house, yeah, you ain't gonna be out there playing come Christmas Day. You sure will.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So you don't even get the options no more like that, because you signed this contract with these boosters and you got this NIL deal. So now all of that may go away, Icon. You might not even get the option to sit out no more and
That's a
not
fact.
violate a contract and owe
Would be.
somebody some money.
Hey, that's how I would be. Hey, but you going to the NFL ain't got nothing to do with me. So yeah, I want to see you get your paper in the NFL too. I want to see you succeed, young man. But if I'm paying you all this money, I need for you to earn this money. You know what I'm saying? And that's mean you got to pay all the way through. You can't be skipping games because you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like you doggone Kyrie Irving or you Ben Simmons or somebody. You can't just be
There you
skipping games.
go. There you go again. There you go.
You out. You can't be doing no Kawhi Leonard where you sitting out because your pinky toe hurting. I need you out
I
there. You
agree with you on that. Kawhi be
know what I'm
tripping.
saying? So
But yeah,
that's why they championship because you
it's just
never know what's gonna happen this year.
it's the same way why they added extra. You know what I'm saying? They took away a preseason game. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't about nothing other than more money. That's it. They're gonna add how many bowl games they gotta add, so that way they can just get more money.
Yeah.
Somebody will watch Florida in the Church's Chicken Bowl.
He go to church too. Oh man, but anyway, man, I guess that's about it for tonight, man. We covered a lot of topics for tonight. So, we getting closer and closer, man. We get to the real deal Holyfield here in a minute. Got about a month away.
Training camp starts next week for the NFL. The Oakland Raiders are the first team going to the training camp. They go next week.
Yeah, cause who's Hard Knock Life this year, or Hard Knocks, whatever they
I
call it.
don't know. I have no clue. I haven't seen. I don't know. I know the Raiders are playing in the game in Canton that first week
Against the Jaguars.
So I know that's why
the Raiders and Jaguars playing in Canton.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame game.
I wonder if the starters gonna play in the first.
Well, you only get 3 preseason games this year, so maybe I don't know.
Well, but shoot, last year only had played 3 preseason game. A lot of players still didn't play.
Yeah. They got a new system in Oakland. You got to ask Ken. I don't know what they feeling.
Well, I don't know. All players need to play, but Carson Wentz need to play all 3 games. I need to see him on all 3. You know what I'm saying? I need to see what he can do. You know
we good. We good.
I know they probably ain't, but they need to see him in all 3 games. You know what I mean? So we gonna see.
Yeah, we just wait. Everybody kind of waiting on KD, man. Everybody waiting on KD to make this move. That's what holding. I guess it's still a lot of free agents.
It's not really about KD though. It's about the Nets and them stupid ass doggone requests. Ain't nobody gonna trade you their 2 best players for your 1. You know what I'm saying? They know that. You know what I'm saying? It's like Crystal said earlier. They trying to sit back and wait to see. Like basically, like we tried to trade you, nothing came loose, so we got to keep you. But they not really doing no. But KD ain't stupid. He know they ain't really get going on no realistic scenarios for these teams to jump on. I get what Utah did, but you can't base off what Utah did off of really what you could get for KD. And nobody, I'm not giving you Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Edwards for KD.
Heck no.
You know what I'm saying? Because I told my barber this the other day. I said the problem with KD is this. KD is a great player. But KD didn't win in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
He jumped on a team that was already ready-made and won. And I said in Brooklyn he couldn't show he could win. So what makes me want to just break up my whole team and just put it around him when he really hasn't showed the capacity to really win, like off of just based off of him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he has to have other people, and he still couldn't do it with other people. Like he had his own team in Oklahoma, he couldn't do it there. He jumped on another man's team and won. And then when it came back to build him around him again, he couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say you sent him to Minnesota for Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. Then what you stuck with? You know what I'm saying? And what are you stuck with in Minnesota? D'Angelo Russell? You know what I'm saying? So you think he gonna win a championship with D'Angelo Russell in the West Coast? No.
Hell no.
So that wouldn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I could see if you said Karl Anthony Towns for KD, then that would make more sense to me. But not for both of them.
Nets said they want both of them.
No, they tripping. No. No. You know what I'm saying? And then I seen one scenario where it was KD and it was KD for LeBron and AD. I'm like, y'all done really lost y'all. Nah. Y'all done really lost y'all mind now. It really. I don't care how old LeBron is. LeBron still putting up 30 a game, and you gonna tell me you want both of them for KD? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, y'all ain't trying.
I thought that was just a troll.
I was saying it can't be real.
I don't know what's the troll and what's real, but all I know was when I seen it, I thought it was ridiculous either way. I'm like, I don't know what's real and what's fake anymore because there's so many different blogs. So it's kind of hard. You got to really read the blog and be like, okay, are they legit blogs? So you don't know what you read sometimes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know. But that's why I just try to follow like Adrian Wojnarowski or ESPN.com or I go straight to the Lakers Nation official website or official YouTube thing or page or whatever. I usually go there if I want to get straight Lakers news or something like that. So I go to people I know that's official, that's really giving the straight information and not some bull jive or whatever. But I don't know. I think I'm with Crystal. I don't think the Nets really trying to put their best foot forward because they if they really wanted to, they could put a package together where they might not get equal value back, but they could at least get a bunch of picks back, a couple of players.
I'm pretty sure they've been offered a couple good deals. They probably just ain't really tried to accept them. I'm sure they've been offered some comparable deals for KD, and they probably really just like, nah, we won't really ask for something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like if you know you don't really want to trade him, sit that man down and say, "Look, nigga, you on a 4-year deal, your ass gonna play." You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta tell him. Nigga, look, you on a 4-year deal, you gonna at least play this year.
They tried that with Ben Simmons, didn't they? Never mind, don't worry about it.
See, there you go. See, you trying to get me started again. You trying to get me started. I don't want to go there. I'm trying to leave Ben Simmons alone. You're pulling me back in. I'm trying to leave that man alone. You know but I'm telling you this, if that man don't get on the court, if he on the court to start the season, he about to get it. I'm telling you. If he not on the court whenever day one of the season starts, I'm giving him hell.
When basketball season start, like October,
unless he in a crazy home in a straight jacket, I'm giving him hell.
And Simmons about to ball out.
Don't they play basketball in like September?
I mean, they start October 19th or something like that. So if Ben Simmons is not on the court day one, he better tear ACL or something for him not to be on the court. He can't even have like a sore knee. He better have like an ACL.
Oh, come on, man. That man might have a sore back. It's back sensitive.
How you gonna have a sore boy? What, sitting down from sitting down for 2 years? Where'd you have a sore back from? No, He need to be on. What's up, big dog? He need to be on. He nah. Ben Simmons ain't on the court day one. I'm giving that dude hell. It don't make no sense for you not to play for 2 years.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Unless he in a straight jacket in a crazy home, he need to be on the court. If he ain't in the same crazy home that Gucci Man was a few years ago, then he need to be all on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Ben Simmons about to ball out.
I'm telling you, that man was an all NBA player before y'all started criticizing that man. He's got ill.
What?
Yeah, they do Ben Simmons wrong, man.
He was a what?
It, man. He was an all NBA player.
He was a great NBA player.
I said all NBA.
I ain't never liked Ben Simmons. I ain't like Ben Simmons in college. I ain't never liked Ben Simmons. I ain't never liked him. I was never a fan. That's a whole other conversation. But anyway, man. Exactly. Like my man Kelvin said, he did it to himself. So I don't. At this point, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, gets me back here on Sunday, and I basically told our brother Jacob. I said, Jacob, I do not want to see you on nothing until at least Friday. He said he's gonna take off till Tuesday. I said, because I don't want to. I said that's the problem. You need to get you some rest. So you want to say get well the Jacob man. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Get well soon, brother.
Man, y'all leave Ben Simmons alone, man. The man doing the best he can. The man was all defensive player. He had one bad playoff game, and now everybody killing him.
Well, how y'all know he don't try to improve his game? He in the gym.
He in the gym. He see pictures of him, man, in the gym.
That's right.
All right.
Hi,
they said this joker be on the YMC court playing in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Run down the
he
court.
did LA Fitness. Thank you.
LA Fitness.
Yeah, he did LA Fitness. Thank you.
He be in your gym, Crystal, don't he? He be over there. Tell the truth. You be working them out, don't you, Crystal? Go ahead. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah, he got a surprise for y'all this season.
I'm trying to tell you, boy.
We cook it up.
To see it.
Put some respect on my man's name.
He come back with the Kareem skyhook this year.
Oh man, stop!
At least come back with the Magic Johnson skyhook. At least give me the baby skyhook this year.
Now you playing with my man. You playing with my man. He gonna be coming to the lane dunking on people.
He already do that. I mean, shoot, at least give me a little 15-footer or something. I mean, good luck. Can I get a mid range? Can I get a DeMar DeRozan jump shot at least? I can't get it.
He about to come back.
We got to
You saw Ben Simmons got a higher 3-point rating than Russell Westbrook.
On the NBA 2K game.
If I was Russ, I want to fight somebody.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. That was bad. That was hey, I want to tell y'all this before we go. The last report I see earlier, Patrick Bev might be going to the Lakers.
But guess what Patrick Beverly said?
What?
I'm seeing the same people who was booing me when I had the Clippers jersey on want me in LA.
Well, see, that's always the case. I would love to have everybody hate Pat Bev when you ain't playing.
Do LeBron want to play with that man? LeBron don't like Patrick Bev.
Nah, Pat Bev. He said he was cool with Pat Bev coming over there. When Pat Bev said back in May that he wanted to play for the Lakers, LeBron. They said something about LeBron had made a comment that he was cool with having Pat Bev on his team.
He needs somebody to play defense.
Dogs. He
wants somebody to play some defense.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron ain't trying to be.
Pat Bev was never running around all day long. That's what Westbrook said. Westbrook said that man fooling y'all. All that man do is run around all day long. Y'all talking about he played good defense.
He can't come to that team while Russ still on the team.
Hell
Russ
no.
might fight that man.
Hell no. He can't come
over there while Russ got him hurt.
Hey, but that's the point. That's the point, y'all. If they get Pat Bev, then we could get Russell Westbrook to say, you know what?
I want out.
If that nigga don't want out by now, that nigga ain't gonna never leave. You crazy. Them folks, that man, he can't take his baby to school without somebody
has to be out of the Lakers.
And they said Darvin Ham and Russ like besties. Did y'all see that report?
Oh my God!
Darvin Ham ain't going nowhere. Darvin Ham
I'm about ready to get him ready. I'm already if he's gonna be talking like this.
You already know how them coaches be. They gonna come in and prove they got the right solution for Russ. Watch.
Nah, he just saying it to try to make that man feel good, but he behind the scenes like everybody else. Like, man, as soon as y'all get rid of him, let me know. I'm trying to keep his confidence high, but as soon as y'all get rid of him, let me know. You know what I'm saying? So I can quit lying to the people. You know what I'm saying? Darvin Ham just playing politics right now. That's all he doing. He ain't fooling nobody.
You talking about watch what Ben Simmons be starting the season. I want to see where Westbrook is. Is he gonna be in the starting five or he gonna be on the bench? Because right now, look like he gonna be starting for the Lakers.
So dude, look like he gonna be starting to me.
If you won't try that,
I'm gonna tell you like this: if Westbrook come back to the Lakers, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. He come back, I ain't even. They don't even ask me nothing about the Lakers all year long. Like, oh, I'm good. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't gonna pass the first round. Nope, I'm straight.
How you gonna bail like that?
I'm bailing. I'm out. I'm talking about. I'm on the float. The float that the rescue float. I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? You gonna see me looking like a Nigerian going across the water. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see like them Mexicans trying to get over. I'm out.
No, man. No, we're gonna get cut off. Man. They been a ban us in the meta world.
I'm good. I'm telling you,
Oh
I'm
man,
out.
you talking about Mexico come across the water and shit. We going down.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm out. I ain't. I'm good.
Man, you can't do them boy like that. They might, Darvin Ham might know what to put Westbrook in the best place to make him. You know what I'm saying?
Man, no, he don't. Westbrook in his own head. Westbrook basically was like, I'm not gonna change my game. He blamed everybody else for what went wrong. He blamed LeBron. Slick tried to blame LeBron, AD. He tried to slick blame Vogel. So he tried to blame everybody else for why he never could play up his full potential. But he never blamed himself for shooting the ball on the side of the backboard. He never blamed himself for turning the ball over 10 times a game. He never blamed himself for missing more dunks than anybody in the NBA. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. He never blamed himself for that. You know what I'm saying? What else you want me to do when you out here missing wide open dunks and layups for no reason at all?
He just throwing the ball in the stands and shit.
I'm good. Yep, I'm straight. I think he might need contacts or something. Maybe he need glasses. Don't know it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is. You remember Wild Thing from Major League Baseball? That movie Major League Wild Thing. I think maybe he got the same thing going on. He need to be
Now Jameis Winston got LASIK surgery this year, so we'll see if it improves his throwing. You know, he threw 30 interceptions in a year. He blamed it on his contacts, so we'll see.
I'm actually rooting for Jameis Winston. I am. I really am.
Now here you nine. You crazy. He'll say, I'm not ready for that, man.
I ain't saying I'm rooting for them necessarily win, but I'm rooting for him to have a good season. You know what I'm saying?
That equates. I hope he throws 30.
It might, but I just want to have him a good season. I mean, shoot, one of these two players gotta. I mean, between him, we know Cam Newton is done. It's a wrap on him. Well, you can stick the fork in. It's over.
Y'all just hate Lamar. Why y'all gotta have these black quarterbacks as a certain person? Like, what y'all got against Lamar Jackson?
I like Lamar Jackson. I just think like Lamar Jackson is limited.
Is he better than Cam? You like Cam? Wait, hold on. Time out. Hold on. Stop it. You just sat here and said Lamar Jackson is limited, but you like Cam. Cam can't throw that bitch in the ocean. No. I never liked Cam. I never liked Cam. Okay,
I ain't like Cam. I've never liked Cam.
You said. I wouldn't let you sit here and say that Lamar Jackson is limited, but Cam was better. No. Okay.
No, I said he done. I said basically we got to have one of these quarterbacks do something.
Lamar's the guy. He's the name black height,
Cam
right?
is done.
Is Kyler Murray black?
Who?
Lamar.
I'm gonna tell you like this: Kyler Murray is the AI of football. He's too small to win you the AI of football. He's too small. He's great, but he's too small to win you a championship.
Are you crazy?
Kyler Murray gonna win a championship.
I don't know about that, like I can't say I'm gonna say stature. If he didn't have a big enough arm, but that dude can throw the ball 70 yards in the air.
But what I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna tell you what I've seen the last couple of years with him. Especially when you can game plan for somebody in the playoffs. When you have because you got to think when you're in the playoffs, you play against the better defenses a lot of time, right?
Majority, most of the time,
they know they know how to box him in and to play him. His weakness is the fact that he is small, so he necessarily can't always see down the field. And they can bat the ball down and they can contain him. So I see the fact that he's limited in his size is what's always hindered him in the playoffs because they're gonna always know what his weakness is, and you can't change your weakness. If you're small, you can't grow overnight. So you're not gonna never change that part of your game.
But he's been playing like that all his life, though. That would be my only counter to that. He's played like that all his life and had success on every level. I think them losing last year in the playoffs, honestly, was more of an indictment of the team because they had so many injuries. Like he ain't have D-Hop. The man didn't have his running back. So I feel you. I'm not big and high on Kyler Murray. I think he's better than Dak Prescott. If you're ranking African American
Oh
quarterbacks
yeah,
in the league, I'm probably
hell
going to
yeah,
put
yeah,
Russell.
yeah.
I probably put
Definitely.
Russell
I
Wilson
mean, I like
first.
Kyler Murray a lot. I like him a lot. I actually love Kyler Murray game, but I'm just watching him on the field, and you
I
got to
got you.
think, yeah, he's on all levels. But when you get to the NFL, just like with the NBA, when you start to go against coaching and schemes that they really know how to coach and really know how to scheme against you. In college football, and most Saturdays, he playing against lesser competition. You know what I'm saying? And the NFL, you playing everybody is good. Every team might not be good, but every NFL player is good. You know, at
Yeah.
some level, and you got your great, and then you got your superstars. And in the coaching, you have good enough coaching and good to go with the players who's gonna always know what his limitation is. And when they know what your limitation is, it's not like if you can't. Let's just say you're not that great of a thrower, then you might can do certain things and help yourself become a better thrower of football. When you little, you can't grow. You can't make yourself grow. So he gonna always be limited. You know what
No,
I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
but
I got you.
that ain't really it for Kyler. Like it's Jeff Kingsbury. His offense is an air raid offense. You know what I'm saying? So his offense is predicated on run 70%. I mean, throw the ball 75% of the time versus being balanced, and that's where they messes up because he brought that same college idea of having guys and you know what I'm saying and getting it done that way as far as passing the ball instead of being more balanced. They've never had a run game ever since he got there. You know what I'm saying? So until they get a run game to be a real threat or a real balance, then yeah, you can sit back. If all your passes coming out of shotgun, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. But he's talented. Like they're good enough to get it done. I mean, you see, they win. They can have a season where they have 3-4 wins, but I mean 3-4 losses, but they don't have a solid run game to do that.
I think you can
I
win
just
with
don't
Kyler
see them
Murray.
beating
That's all. I think you can
I
win.
just don't believe the elite defenses. I just don't believe. I just don't believe when they go against the elite defenses like a 49ers or the Rams, even
They
Tampa
all
Bay. I
those
just
are
don't
all
see them beating.
divisional teams too, so it get tricky when we talk about them matchups with
Yeah,
them teams.
Right, but
I
he
just don't
wins
see them
against
getting
them
going
though.
against. I just don't
Because
see it.
he beat them in the regular season,
Right,
and
he
he didn't beat
beats
them in
them.
the playoffs.
He might get to an NFC Championship game just off his ability, but I just don't see him ever winning a Super Bowl. I may be wrong, and I love to see him do it, but I just don't see it. You know
So
what
if
I mean?
you're
I don't
ranking
see it.
African American quarterbacks in the league right now, how do you rank them?
Of course, Patrick Mahomes is one.
Okay, we're gonna count him. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what you mean? He black, ain't he? He considered black.
Okay,
You know what
I
I
agree.
mean? I would say Lamar Jackson is two.
Over Russ, you put Lamar over
Well,
Big Russ,
I will put over who?
Russell Wilson.
Oh well,
I'm just asking now. I'm asking
I forgot about Russell Wilson. So I would say
because he got Super Bowl too.
I don't know
He
because
got
Russell Wilson
everything.
got to prove himself again. Because Russell Wilson he done had a couple of bad kind of like down years in a row. But I don't know. Like he got to kind of have a. I know he kind of because he wanted out of Seattle and he was kind of like he was kind of a little bit. So whatever. So I got to see him bounce back this year. But I give you that. I give you Russell Wilson. So I would say Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson. I would say Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson just because he can throw the ball better.
Woo,
Oh shit!
Jesus.
Then I would say Lamar Jackson.
Woo.
Lamar Jackson sometimes he'll lose the game because he can't make that big throw all the time.
Or his wide receiver can't catch the big throw all the time. They drop it when they hit their hands. But that's a whole different story.
Yeah. I mean, because they never really put the weapons around him either. The right weapons. They put all the old slow ass tight ends around him. You know what I mean? So.
And then they offensive coordinator with this damn, just like Kyler Murray has pass first and 75% pass offense. Lamar Jackson got the complete opposite. They run the ball 75, 79% of the time.
Yeah, and then Hollywood Brown got Russian roulette hands. You
And
don't
he
know what you don't know
gone. They
what.
show the whole clip of him
Yeah,
dropping like third down passes, touchdown passes. That shit was like 2 minutes
that
long. And
dude.
never him in drops, man. Now he play with Kyler Murray, so we'll see how that goes.
But he like a spade game, boy. He like two of the possible, boy. You know what you gonna get with him, boy. Yeah, God.
They be killing me. They be looking at their hands. They be like, damn.
And Marquise Brown, boy. Hollywood, boy. They can call you Compton or something. Call you Inglewood because you're not Hollywood. Ain't nothing about you Hollywood. Man, shoot. Call that man.
So that's what we at. Crystal, what you think? You like that list? You like how he ranked them quarterbacks, or you change it up?
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with it.
I probably wouldn't put
Anyway,
Russ at 2. Russ might have came down. I think he was a product of his defenses. I might have put Russ at like 3.
that's what I said. I'm gonna put him at 2 just because he's proven. He's more proven than the rest of everybody else. That's why I'm gonna give him his respect. But he do gotta show me this year because he done had the last year was kind of it's kind of bad. So I was just like, he got to show me he's still that guy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see when he get to Denver. But I still feel like his offense is over. His offense, when they rave about it, I got to see it because they seem overrated.
I remember me and you had that conversation earlier.
Yeah, I got to see it. I don't all this hype about the offensive play weapons. I got to see it first.
KB, what you
Give me
think,
first.
bro? How you ranking if you rank African American quarterbacks right now? You got Dak in your top 5? You probably got Dak in your top 5.
Dak, hell no.
I mean, yeah. Let's see. I got Pat first, Russ second. I'll go with Lamar third because when you look at his numbers, they aren't bad. It looks bad when you watch it, like in the game. You're like, dang, he missed that shot, that pass, but he still ends the game with good efficiency and he's dynamic runner. I'll put Kyler at 4. Who am I missing other than that?
I'll pull you off with Dak, huh?
I mean, you might have to put Dak because ain't that many black quarterbacks, so you might have to put Dak in the 5.
You got Lamar.
Just he in
Hold on,
default,
you didn't have Dak in yours. We always missing somebody. Hold on, you didn't have Dak. You had Mahomes, Wilson,
Lamar,
Kyler.
I had Kyler third and I had Lamar fourth. I don't believe I had a 5th player.
I don't think you got to be. So you got to choose
in.
between Jameis Winston, Dak Prescott. Who else we got? That's it. I think.
So you might have to put him at number 5.
I'm not putting Jameis up there. No, so I'll give it to Dak.
Yeah, to give Dak.
Because Dak,
you got to.
I mean, I know Jacob's not here
to be in
Jacob's not here to hear the praise, but Dak, he plays bad.
Wait, time out. Whoa, we forgot about freaky guy. Touch him up, Watson.
Who?
Deshaun Watson. I'm putting him above Dak. I'll take Deshaun Watson above Dak. I'll take Deshaun Watson above Kyler Murray. And I'll probably take Deshaun Watson. I might take him above.
He's one step away from being the same.
We're talking about beyond that now.
I got to see him at the first. I see him on the field.
We're talking about beyond
that.
Yeah, I got to see at least. Give me one preseason game before I give him.
Give me 3-4 games with him first.
That man was winning in Houston with nothing. I mean,
Oh
literally
yeah, I give
nobody.
it to you. I give it to you. If Deshaun Watson come back the way he was when he was in
Yeah,
Houston,
Of course,
to
Now,
me,
of course, we
I
know
will
we
put him
got to
at
see,
number
but
two.
we can only
He will
rank
be.
them based off what they've done so far. So of course,
I'll put Deshaun
outside of
Watson at 5. I'll put Deshaun Watson at 5 because I already know he's better than that. No matter what, he better than that. So I'll put him at 5. Just because I know he better than that. I know that. I only got to see no more to know that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying. If he was in, I've been put like this. If he was in Dallas, Dallas would have won a Super Bowl, despite what Jerry Jones was doing. They would have won a Super Bowl.
Deshaun Watson
If he
with them
was in
weapons,
Houston.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he would have won a Super Bowl. He would at least got to the NFC Championship game with that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no question. You know what I'm saying? He was winning with him and just D Hop. You know what I'm saying? William Fuller was dropping. What's his name? William Fuller the third was dropping passes like Marquise Bryant. Both of them was competing over who could drop the most balls.
And your boy D Hop can't stay healthy, man. D Hop always get hurt. It seems like he always get hurt at the end of the year, right when playoff season comes. If they team clinch a playoff spot, he get hurt.
Yep. So I give you that. Yeah, he definitely. That's my top 5 then right there. And if Deshaun Watson come back and look like his old self, he number 2 easily. But anyway, let me take my butt to bed, man. I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah, good people.
Get up out of here so I get down to ATL. I'll be down to ATL
now. I'm waiting on you.
Yeah, so
you know I'm just waiting on you.
I'll be down there by Saturday. I'll be down there probably Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully by Saturday.
Well, Saturday, kids
Anyway,
ain't gonna be here yet. The wife gonna be gone. She got this little party she doing. So Saturday night, I'm in the streets.
Oh Lord. Anyway, y'all be easy, man. I'll talk to y'all this weekend.
No.
All right, y'all.